where do you see VARA in 3 years? Like the ecosystem, the regulated digital asset ecosystem, where not just in numbers, but in kind of general direction?
Yeah, it's a good question. I won't even start with a number because, I continue to want to get, the right firms kind of set up, et cetera. Where I think Dubai is going is where I think the global ecosystem's going. So we've been very lucky. We've got a lot of very good firms in our ecosystem. We've got almost all the big trading platforms. That's been a great ecosystem here. There's lots of other things that come with that. Big option players. And what we're finding now, I'd say one of the trends in the last maybe 6 to 8 months has been institutional, or what I'd call institutional first, right?
Right.
And so, high frequency trading firms, some very exciting hedge funds, some kind of super league custodians and that sort of thing, who are we really like custodians for lots of reasons. From a safety of the ecosystem, they're quite key pillars around that. So I think we'll see more of that. When I look at the pipeline, we do see, some really good startups and, some good local startups that we really want to encourage. But also some of these institutional players, either a sleeve of them here or, some former TradFi people who are going to trade the way they used to trade, but just going to be a different underlier. So I kind of see that movement on the institutional side. I do see also this kind of melding of what we call TradFi to what we call virtual asset.
Right.
Maybe in 3 or 4 years, there's a different term for that, and the language in this space changes quite.
Do you see any traditional like TradFi applicants or TradFi players, like traditional ones, that are slowly coming into the Web3 space, or is it still newer players? Or kind of crypto native players that are taking more of the timeshare, and say in 2-3 years, who's going to win? Who's going to be more prevalent? Is it the players that are crypto native, that started from a crypto base, or is it the people that, not mentioning names, but the Goldmans of the world, the HSBCs of the world, are they going to be the ones that are going to be more crypto focused in your view? Sure.
And I whether it's investments or firms and that sort of thing, I don't choose winners because the rules of the game change, right? The opportunity set changes. So this would be my own opinion, not VAR's. I think as you had Mick and Zand here not long ago. Zand is a traditional finance player in our space. We've got a number of others that I don't like to talk about.
No, you don't have to talk about
in the pipe. But we are seeing that convergence of folks who are going to have a VAR regulated affiliate. That's all very exciting, and for all different kind of commercial reasons, which is exciting as well. In terms of, I think what's going to happen here in the UAE, I think it's going to mimic what we're kind of seeing abroad, where I think, really, again, in my opinion, I think the Bitcoin ETF has been a quantum leap for our space. You're not going to, for people who didn't like crypto from a regulatory standpoint, you're not going to get the toothpaste back in the tube, so to speak. But also, it has really brought in different players. This is the adoption of more staid players, et cetera, et cetera. A friend of mine in New York City had mentioned he's in the finance space, and he said, the Bitcoin ETF meant that some Americans could have exposure to Bitcoin without even owning a computer, right? What I mean?
Exactly.
Go to your broker and get that. And so, of course, that's led to a lot of of copycats and folks coming in and needing to own Bitcoin and beyond. And now we have some other kind of other very liquid coins around that. I think the other is the dawn of stablecoin and stablecoin usage.
The Genius Act, right?
The Genius Act. And I think what's happening in Washington, D.C., it's going to impact a lot of the world and a lot of our industry. But it also allows, I think, the native crypto players to be able to kind of, from whether it's asset attraction or being able to have some payment rails, or have people not just kind of buy Bitcoin or some altcoin and then want to off ramp, but to be able to say, you know what, I'll stick around and I'll keep my stable coin powder dry in case I want to do something else. Or over time, as proper rails are set up, maybe I'll use some of that to pay this bill or that bill.
Do you think when do you think the time will come where we pay for everything with crypto? Will it ever happen?
I don't know if we'll pay. I personally don't think we'll pay for everything at any point, right? But but I think it'll be another payment. So I mean, I'm old enough to remember, the dawn of the internet and how scary it was when you first put your credit card on the internet to pay for something.
Of course.
Right? Where you're ever going to see the goods and services, but more importantly, where you're going to see other charges come in, right? So there was a bit of a leap of faith there, and I think soon this will be another way of paying for stuff. Do I think fiat goes away? I don't. I think there's reasons for that, but I think that this is going to be seen as another proper, regulated and appropriate channel for paying for things. And will someone get Bitcoin is and some of these coins are very volatile assets, right? And I always give the health warning. This is speculative volatile asset. People should do their own homework, et cetera, and make sure your portfolio is well managed or well diversified. But is somebody going to get paid in Bitcoin so that today you get paid $100,000, but next month you get paid $200,000, right? I can't see that happening in the near term. There's smarter people than me that are kind of seeing the future here. I think more likely the blockchain will kind of not they'll refurbish the plumbing on a lot of the big banks and that sort of thing. The way AI is going to help these firms kind of recode and that sort of thing. I think blockchain rails, and from a compliance standpoint, which I'm more familiar with, but also just kind of ease of movement and audit trail standpoint. I don't think there'll be one chain to rule them all, as people say, but I think there'll be real use cases at a certain point, and I think that'll be sooner than people think. But that'll be behind the scenes,
Right.
Like the analogy people use, my TV works, what happens behind the screen, I don't really know or care, right? So I think there'll be a lot of kind of financial services clients who I don't think the client experience will change. It may get enhanced, but it won't change materially.